Hi, my name is Macy and I'm a real estate consultant with the McDonald Group here in Texas. Whether you are looking to make a move for work, to be closer to family, or just for your new adventure, we want to be a resource for you. Are you thinking of making a move to North Texas? Where you're in the right place. Today I'm going to share 10 things that only locals know about living here in DFW Metroplex. When people say they're from Dallas-Fort Worth, they probably aren't. In fact, most people say they're from either Dallas or Fort Worth just because most of the people might not know these suburbs of DFW. In fact, I grew up in a really small suburb here in DFW called Bartonville. Still to this day, some locals don't even know that Bartonville exists. So when somebody asks where I'm from, I normally say Dallas or Fort Worth, when in fact it's probably closest to Denton. Number 2, Dallas and Fort Worth might be close together, but they are not the same, and every local can tell you that. Dallas is known to be a little bit more dressy and fancy, right? Like if you go to Dallas to a restaurant, you are gonna see people in suits and ties, women in dresses. It's going to just be lean a little dressier. When you go out in Fort Worth to dinner, you are gonna find a lot of people in boots, in jeans, and a little bit more laid back. Fort Worth is definitely known for having a little bit more of a laid-back cowboy culture. Most people in Fort Worth aren't actually cowboys, but they are known for that because we have the awesome rodeo and cattle drive in Fort Worth year-round. Of course, you can find your dressier restaurants and dressier events to go to in Fort Worth, just as like you can find your a little bit more laid back, toned down events in Dallas as well. It's all about where you're going, who you're spending your time with, and what is important to you. Now, number 3, this might not be something that only locals know, but it is a big part of life in Texas, and that's football is life. It doesn't matter if it is Pee Wee football, high school football, college football, or let's be honest, America's favorite team, the Dallas Cowboys. Football is life, and it is what gathers people together. When you have Pee Wee football going on, you can guarantee you are gonna find cheerleaders and dancing on the sidelines because it's that big of a deal. In fact, I was a cheer coach last year for the kindergarten team. And Friday Night Lights, the show, is actually pretty on point for what you are gonna see with high school football. Of course, North Texas towns are not going to be as small town as Dillon, Texas, which was shown in the show. However, there is so much that actually rides on every football game in every season. So you are gonna see the whole town and community come together to support the football team and their coaches. And of course, America's favorite football team, the Dallas Cowboys, since we're home to the Cowboys. We are all very loyal fans of the Cowboys, even though they are in a little bit of a dry spell and haven't made it to the Super Bowl in quite some time. It's not really spoken about a ton. We all remain very loyal because you will not find fair weather fans here in DFW. Number 4, this one is going to blow your mind. I'm sure you've heard that everything is bigger in Texas, and that's for the most part correct. Did you know that North Texas, the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, is actually a total of 9,286 square miles? That is bigger than the combination of Connecticut, Delaware, and Rhode Island combined. And we are also bigger than the state of New Hampshire, Massachusetts, New Jersey, and Hawaii. That is so good for you to know if you're looking to move here. It's always a shock when I have clients come in town, and I've had clients look at homes 2 hours from each other, right? Because when you come here, you just want to be in the Metroplex. It doesn't always matter where in the Metroplex you are. And so a lot of people are just shocked at the amount of driving they do when they're looking because it's far. Places can be very far from each other, and it's definitely worth it to find the home and the property that makes the most sense for you. Number 5, and this one you can't argue with me on, Tex-Mex and Mexican food are completely different, and Tex-Mex is far superior to Mexican food. Nothing beats a night out with the family over chips, salsa, queso, guacamole with a nice swirl margarita in your hand. Number 6, North Texas can't handle ice or snow. We are known for our very mild winters. And so with that, we don't get a lot of snowstorms or ice storms or have to deal with drastic weather in the winter. However, when we do, we don't hang, we shut the Metroplex down. Schools get canceled, most people start working from home, and roads are dead, which is really good because honestly, we can't drive in the snow or ice here. We had a really bad ice storm just earlier this year, and we saw people out on the road because they needed to get to work, and they were skidding all over the roads. So my recommendation, if you live here, don't try and drive in the ice and snow, even if you know how to, because most of the other people do not. Number 7, this might not just be something that locals know. If you live in like the middle of the country, you probably also resemble this a little bit as well. But Interstate 35 is always under construction. Interstate 35 goes from almost to Canada to almost to Mexico, and so runs through the entire state of Texas, starting in North Texas where we are, and then goes all the way down. So that is how you get from Dallas-Fort Worth to Waco to Austin, New Braunfels, San Antonio, further south, right? That's the main fairway. It is backed up a lot, and they're constantly working on 35. 35 actually splits in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. So it starts in Denton and it splits off. And so 35W goes through Fort Worth and 35E goes through Dallas. And then once you get through the Metroplex, they meet back up and take you on to Waco. So we do have 2 35s here in DFW. And we also, they've just done a lot of new construction in the past few years where it splits and becomes, instead of having an HOV lane, it actually becomes an expressway. So you can get in the faster lanes where the speed limit is a little bit faster, but you also have to pay a toll on that. But I don't think there's ever been a time in my life that 35 has not been under construction. It's where you get to and from a lot of places within the Metroplex because there are 2 35s here. And so it does get pretty backed up during the morning and the evening rush hour. But if you can avoid those times to be on the highway, you are good to go as long as there's not major construction. Number 8, a 30-year roof doesn't actually mean much here in North Texas. We get a ton of hail. In fact, we just had hail about a week and a half ago. Check out this picture. This is at my parents' house, and their yard looks like a straight up driving range. There is hail everywhere. We actually had from golf ball size hail all the way to almost baseball size hail. We drove by like a restaurant afterwards that got hit pretty hard, and there was just cars with windshields shattered out. But pertaining to a roof, hail does not help roofs. We get 30-year roofs, but it doesn't really mean anything because in Texas, we're having to get our roofs replaced about every 5 to 10 years, depending on where the hail is hitting in that season. The good news is your insurance generally covers roof for any wind and hail damage, and so you're not having to come out of pocket to pay for an entire roof every time you need to get it replaced. Number 9, we have a lot of toll roads here in Texas, and everyone that I talk to that moves here, it is such a big surprise to find this out. I've already mentioned that 35 is an express lane that collects tolls if you ride on the faster expressway. We also have George Bush, which is a toll road. We have Dallas North Toll Road. We have Sam Rayburn Toll Road, and there's several more toll roads. Those are the main toll roads. And to get on and off the highway, you have to pay a toll. So you just get a toll tag, put it in your car, and it will just take it off. So that is definitely something to think about when you're looking at where you want to live, where you want to be, and then where you're going to be traveling for work most of the time. So if you need to make sure that you want to eliminate as many tolls as you can, let us know and we will help you configure what makes the most sense for you. And 10, everything in Dallas-Fort Worth is about 30 minutes away. Of course, that's a little bit different because If you live on the far west side of town, you're obviously not gonna get to the east side of the Metroplex within 30 minutes. But for the most part, anything that you would need, you're gonna be able to get to within 30 minutes. We don't calculate our travel by miles, we calculate it by time, because depending on where you are, if there's no traffic and there's no lights or construction, you can get there in 30 minutes, even if you're 45 miles away. And also, you could be 10 miles away and it could take 30 minutes too. So that's always the big take. Everything's approximately 30 minutes to get anywhere here in North Texas. Of course, there are so many special things that only the locals know here in DFW, and those are only the top 10 that I could think of today. But if there's anything else that you are wanting to know, reach out to me, leave a comment, and maybe I'll do a video on that next. If you're excited about your upcoming move or just curious about what makes DFW so special, then hit that subscribe button and join our community of future Texans. Keep an eye out for weekly videos and we will keep you updated on all things North Texas. And in the meantime, if you or someone you know is looking to move to North Texas, reach out to me at 214-233-6809 and we will make sure you are meted and greeted and served with Texas' warmest and best hospitality.